Alright, this is my third time recording this because I just cannot make any progress. I can't make any progress, man. Alright, what's our first recipe gonna be? A palm wood breastplate. We are killing it. At the very least, we have unlimited torches. That's something. We can make Martian conduit plating. Always lovely. We can make a destroyer emblem. 10% increased damage. Plus we got warding. That's actually really helpful. Like, that's the destroyer emblem. That's not that bad. All right, with the rope coils that we've got, we can make a trapped pink dungeon chest. Very interesting. Not helpful whatsoever. Now we got gel. We can make another trapped chest. Oh, wow, we're killing it. So ropes are essentially our best friend when it comes to traversing this world because, oh dear God, it's hard. It's hard. But this is pretty handy. We actually got really high up there. That's actually pretty good. Glowing mushroom turns into a ball of hurt. We finally have a decent weapon. Oh, we also got a bone rattle. Okay, we now have a little friend with us. Let's call him Timmy. So, Timmy, how many times am I going to want to end the world today? Many times, you say, Timmy. I tend to agree. We also get a jungle shirt, which is one of the only ways we will actually be able to increase mana, and it is 6 defense. So, if we can find like a magic weapon, we might actually be in a pretty good spot. Now, I do actually want to go through these crispy honey blocks over here. It's probably silly, and we have had our first death. Great. Expected. You know, I'm honestly not too sad about it. We've got good weapons on us. We can basically murder... Okay, well, apparently we can't murder everything really fast. I thought we would have been able to. But we've still got Timmy with us. So Timmy's going to carry us to victory. We've actually... This is probably one of the better starts. Way, guys. Okay. We're going to throw the ball of hurt at you because the more money we can get, the more crafting recipes we can get. And, I don't know, gel is just kind of useful in some crafting recipes. Now, if you didn't know, the honest to death hardest thing in this entire playthrough is going to be finding a crafting bench or a workbench. I know, Minecraft. But if you find one of those, you're actually in a pretty good spot because you can basically craft anything at that point. And when it comes to crafting anything, you can literally craft like all of the OP items. So once we find that, we should be good. It's just finding that is going to be the problem. Now, these crispy honey blocks can basically murder us super easily. We need to be careful not to stand in the dark too long because guess what? Standing in the dark also murders us. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you are afraid of the dark, you should be. Oh, I thought I just had enough room from the lava there. But that's probably going to break all of our ropes. I've only just thought about that. That's not very handy. That lava is still coming down. I'm hoping it didn't destroy all of our ropes. But it's looking like it may have. Well, rest in peace to all of our rope that we use, because now we have to use even more, and we don't have an infinite amount of rope. And all of that just to potentially get to here, which we are still not safe from. Great. Oh, there is a demon eye. Okay, Mr. Demon. Oh, yeah. Don't you kill me, you bastard. Why does there just have to be this giant section of honey block? Like, seriously, it is exactly what has just made this so painful. If it was just like some honey block, it would be fine. But no, it was all the honey block. We have regular wood here. This is good. We are making some really good progress here. Regular wood is just like a whole different type of crafting, if you didn't know, compared to other woods. So that's actually really important for us to get. We get dynasty wood, which is very interesting. What does dynasty wood turn into? A celestial sigil. We can summon the Moon Lord without having to do the towers. Now I'm going to make 10 of these dynasty woods because again they can make more things, like a energized Moon Lord this time. And that is a funny coincidence that turns into that. That's a mimic. What in the God's name is a mimic doing down here? Oh, there's the mimic. Okay. Can we somehow kill this mimic? We can try. Honestly, trapping him probably wouldn't be the worst idea. Okay, what we're going to do, we got some happy... I need to run. I really need to just get like some distance from this mimic. But I don't think we're going to be able to. Without him killing us. Okay, we died. No, that means we're going to lose the mimic. I wanted to know what we were going to get from him. Ooh, hallowed greaves with the ball of hurt. And we can make another ball of hurt. So it really doesn't matter. But hallowed greaves is really good defense, actually. So defense-wise, we're not doing too bad. And we got a keen ball of hurt this time. All right, we have ice and snow. Don't think this is going to achieve much for us, but like, is there any crafting recipes for ice and snow? I don't think there is. There definitely is. A fossil pickaxe is just a touch more pickaxe power, and also a adamantite chainsaw is going to help us cut through things really quickly. We can also make cactus platforms, which will reverse into cactuses, which makes us a pulse bow. A deadly pulse bow. Okay, so if we can get arrows, we are set. So the focus right now is, figure out a way to somehow get arrows. But at the very least, we have what I suspect to be a much better pickaxe, which will just help us, get through the game a little bit quicker. Now, this is a massive underwater labyrinth. A little bit scary. I actually cannot see anything. I've just realized that I literally do not have the ability to see anything down here. We died, but we've made some serious progress. A chainsaw, for one, is serious progress. We have decent armor. We have a chainsaw. We have a really good bow, actually. So if we could just get some arrows, we would be set. We have a chest. Not only do we have a chest, we have a live crystal, ladies and gentlemen. We have a finch staff. A mythical finch staff. Very interesting. It does absolutely nothing for us, but we do have our very first life creature. Yes! Oh, I saw that one coming. Yep. Just got to try to be a little bit more weary of the obvious things, aka, pressure plate death. But apart from that, we've actually discovered a new... Okay, I'm cool. This might be the playthrough. That breaks me. I've had brutal playthroughs before, but okay, slimes, you don't want to die. That's fine. This is going to be the playthrough that breaks me, I reckon. Oh, now there's a campfire here, which is pretty cool. It's a little safe haven, we'll call it. But there's also a bunch of gold, which again does nothing for us. But if we could just get some NPC housing, man, we'd be set. Oh, there's a finch. No, a flinx. That's right. There's a flinx here. Very interesting. Should be able to just absolutely chainsaw him to death. No, we got killed by the darkness. I forgot about the darkness. How could I forget about the darkness? Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen. I've been recording for 48 minutes in silence, as you would have heard on the voiceover. But from what I believe, the thing we are seeing right, we are poisoned. We're actually going to die. We're going to die before we get there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get to me. Get to me. Oh, that is actually huge. But what we do need to do is we do need to dump some of our stuff in one of these chests. We also got an extractinator, mind you, which is going to be really good for getting certain blocks that we don't have now. But this right here is what we've come for. We have a workbench. It's infinite now. Surely we can get some super overpowered stuff. And a titanium pickaxe is a great start. That is a wonderful start. A palladium breastplate. Now, obviously, any type of wings would be good. A xenon fish bobber, superhero tights, an influx waver. Okay, we're seeing some cool stuff here. Influx waver. First off, that's just a really good weapon. A nebula pickaxe is insane. A Stardust dragon staff is crazy. A mithril hood. We do need defense of sorts, so that actually does work out. We can get the flink staff, frost leggings, which I would dare say that's better. I'd say that's better than what we've got. And we could even make a Xeno popper if we really want to, which is great. But we've got some crazy weapons. The influx waver, as well as the nebula pickaxe, is just going to help us mull through things. We've got the brand of the Inferno. We've got this Stardust Dragon staff. Man, we are look at us. We have a beard. Like, we are just killing it now. Yeah. We're not going to have much trouble now. We've actually got pretty decent defense. We've got easy ways to run around. We've even got this chest over here, which I don't know if we're going to be able to access. Boy, beetle shell armor. That is something we wanted to see. That is some mega defense. Wow. But I honestly think for now, that's it. Like, obviously, we've made some huge waves now finding that. And we've got some really good weapons. We can run very fast. Speaking of, like, just weapons, we've just destroyed another mimic for another magic mirror, which we just don't need. But we're low-key killing it now. It's not going to be hard to get to the end of the game at this point. Now, I do have an idea. If we can find, like, hell houses. I don't know if you can get them on this seed, but if we can find them, then we could probably get a furnace. And if we can get a hell furnace or a hellstone furnace, whatever it is, we can get like a whole bunch more crafting just with the ores. It's like turning ores into different crafting stuff. So that's what we're going to go for. Now at the moment, we actually are kind of beast up. We probably could start going for some bosses, to be honest. And then we do have a thing with this series. We can look for the boss summons. So we're not going to be like that guy where we're trying to hunt for the boss summons for ages, because it could be like a million different summons and it would be super duper annoying to try to get. Oh shit. Demon Scythe. That's kind of cool. We also got a guide voodoo doll, so we could technically, if we really wanted to, technically take on the Wall of Flesh right now, but yeah, probably not. Oh, we've made it to houses. Oh my god. This is the moment that we were waiting for. This could be huge. It could open up a whole bunch of brand new opportunities. We got a rain hat. Oh my gosh, we've successfully made it. That's a Hellforge. All right, we just need to get in, tank the damage as much as we can, grab the Hellforge, and yeah. Oh, that's just a random ass gold money portal. That's pretty helpful. Now, I'm not gonna lie, take everything we've got, which is not a lot, but we now have a Hellforge. This is actually huge. Like, this is probably one of the only ways we would be able to get a furnace. So we can make a lizard instactuation bomb, clears a space around the lizard altar. That will be helpful at some point. A living wood bathtub. That's it? Really? But let's just go, I guess, discover the world is the best way I can put that. Now, in a second, we'll do it now. Why not? We'll be able to look at the Eye of Cthulhu. What do we need to summon the Eye of Cthulhu? We need 13 titanium bars and a mithril anvil. Or we can get flame dye, black dye, and a dye vat. We're probably going to have to try to find his summon in a chest. I think that's going to be literally the only way that we will be able to do that. So next, actually, we do need an anvil. So if we could get like some NPC housing, we'll be set. And we actually can't make doors. So if I could just grab a door from these houses, it's going to be very important. Now, we do have this house here with some rainbow brick, which is very interesting, and it was trapped. Now, we are going to go build some NPC housing, but obviously, this ain't the spot I want to build it, because I do not want to be right in hell. I'd like to be, like, at a nice crossroad point. So we're going to find a place to build our house. So what we actually can do is we can repurpose this housing, which is what we are going to do. So I just realized we do actually need a chair and stuff, so we can't do it just yet, but we are slowly repurposing this housing. Now that is a mushroom chest, funnily enough, but we are going to open up this chest here. It wasn't explosive. That's huge. And the Moonlord legs as well could be good. Silver bars, bunch of arrows, water walking potions, going to be really important at some point. We'll take our life crystal, making our way towards full health. In fact, there is another life crystal up here. Please don't fall on me. It doesn't. Bang, we've got another life crystal secured. And yet another life crystal. We are almost at full health now, which in this hellscape world is pretty important. We're actually able to tank hits really well. And we died. That's cool. That's cool. We did find a hive. We've done some stuff there, which is going to be super important. Now, obviously, a bed is just going to be huge for us, so we can actually set our spawn to where we want to set it. Like, realistically speaking, we're going to want like a chair. A chair is like number one of things we're going to need. So obviously, the goal right now is to find any type of chair. Another crafting like bench would be great, an anvil, but we do need to find the Eye of Cthulhu summon. So we're going to go up to that house that we made. It doesn't have the chair in it, so we can't get any NPCs, but we're going to put a bed down and see if we can't set our spawn there. Another thing is a loom, actually. We haven't really thought about a loom. A loom would be pretty big, especially with all the cobwebs we have. So right here, we're going to put our sandstone bed down and see if we cannot set a spawn. We can. So now we do not need to spawn in hell. We've got a beehive here, which is interesting. We're actually in the desert biome now, which is a bunch of new blocks, actually. I don't think we have actually collected any type of like desert sand or anything. So we're going to take the time now to grab our sand blocks, but to also grab our cactuses as well, because that's also going to be in like a whole new crafting stuff for us. Oh, we do have a... Oh, okay. This could be good. There are certain things that we could get from this, which could be huge. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an anvil. And we also have a... Okay. Well, none of this is super important, but we do have an anvil. We have another extractinator, but the anvil and the kegs as well, those could also be pretty important, not gonna lie. But I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that anvil is huge. Now, this looks like it could be booby-trapped, and it was. And we do get yet another life crystal out of that. Yet another life crystal, almost like really close to full health now. We are really starting to pump through this. Obviously, still no bosses. None of these chests have had the Eye of Cthulhu summon in them. Oh, we have another house. Okay, and another life crystal, by the way, which is going to be really important right now. We're almost dead. Anything in this house of necessary need? It could have. This could be the house. Oh, we have another workbench, actually. That's going to be really helpful. Bomb drop from that. Is this trapped? It could be. It's not. Magic mirror. Just not what we need. Oh, we do have what I'm assuming is the... Okay, we're dead. Well, I shouldn't have broken into the dungeon, but now we know where the dungeon is, which is super helpful. All right, with the anvil, what can we make? Be some wings. Be something exciting. A palladium breastplate. I don't know if we already had that before. A pumpkin breastplate. We can make a workbench. So we now have a way of making a workbench with just wood. That's kind of helpful to know. That's a pretty good potion. Keep that one in mind. A cobalt mask, a flare on. That's pretty good. I do see a chair down there, by the way, and I know that that chair is going to be super duper important. Tsunami in a bottle decreases the amount of mana crystals. I didn't even know that was a thing. We can make mithril bars. Some kind of metallic skull summons Skeletron Prime. That is huge to get. Now, obviously, the chair is what we basically need. So we're going to make a couple of those. We don't have a lot. We could make the flare on, which I actually probably prefer over the influx wave. So I'm going to make, and it's a godly one as well. I'm going to make the flare on for now, because I think that it's just super overpowered. Now, we still don't have any wings, which is a little bit frustrating. But as we are now, we're actually in a really good spot. It's just about finding some of these summons. What we can do, disregarding the Eye of Cthulhu, we can look at some of the other summons and see if we can make them really easily. The King Slime would be super good. A terrarium and a ladybug. We can get the ladybug. That shouldn't be an issue. The terrarium would be interesting. I don't know how to make those. Or 5 wooden crates at a workbench. So if we go fishing, we could do that. And we're probably, yeah, it's probably going to have to be the way. So we probably will go fishing for that. Eater of Worlds, 3 ocean crates. So more fishing, or Flink's fur and 10 platinum bars. We can get that. So that's probably one we can do. Brain of Cthulhu we can summon. That's fine. Queen Bee we can summon. Skeletron we can summon. Deerclops, Wall of Fish. Like, that's all fine. Queen Slimes, 5 wooden crates again. So we're going to be doing a lot of fishing at some point. So, we have a Spelunker Potion, which was made with Rich Mahogany. We're going to pop it once we get to the right area. And basically, the goal is, well, we still don't have a hook or a wings. Now, mind you, I haven't played this world in a little bit. I've been sort of editing in between and when working and all that sort of fun stuff, so it's fine. This flail's kind of ass, I'm not going to lie. It's not doing great for us right now. But basically, the thought process is we're going to use our Spelunker Potion, and it's going to work out. All right, perfect time. Pop the Spelunker, and we are basically looking for chests because we need to get the Eye of Cthulhu summoned. So it's pretty much chest or it's nothing at this rate. We have a chest here, Band of Regeneration, which is actually really good to get. Everything else is pretty lackluster, but if we can just keep looking for chests, we might be alright. Now, what I didn't think about is we could absolutely take on the slime, but not... What am I talking about? We could take on Queen Bee, is what I'm trying to say. So if we can just get some health back, we can definitely do that. And I've got a bit of confidence when it comes to that. Now, another thing we're going to need to find eventually is a loom as well, which can be found in common houses. So we will be looking for that. Now, we have a Flareon, I should say, which is really good. Also, I should probably activate this bad boy because he's going to get some serious damage in, but we don't have any buffs. So this is pretty much just going to be a hauls to the wall sort of thing. So there we go. We should have the old mate coming for us now, and we should honestly be able to destroy him pretty easily. We have essentially end game weapons here, and there you go. Queen Bee is dead. Our first boss has officially been defeated. Now, we will open that bag later because technically we still have some of our Spelunker Potion we can use to hopefully find a chest super quickly. Would be really nice. Wait, this bad boy's coming for us. Oh, hey, dude. There's a house here. Did we reach this house before? I have a feeling we did. I do have a feeling we've been in here before. We have, and it had a magic mirror, which we obviously did not want. And that's right, we had the dungeon here. Ooh, we could absolutely take on Skeletron. Actually, I didn't even think about that. Like, once we take on Skeletron, we have access to bones. We could get a lot of things. So, to be honest, at this rate, it's just about finding the entrance, like the actual proper entrance. And we died because of food. Oh my god, I completely forgot that food was a thing. Anywho, we can do some things here. First, can we... quick stack to nearby chests? We can. Awesome. We do have an Explorer combination. Ooh, Spelunker. That's really easy to make as well. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that because that could be really useful. We don't really have anywhere to actually do our relics. I haven't really thought about this, to be honest. So we'll just make some basic little bridge here. Nothing too crazy. This already takes long enough without having like eccentric little builds. So there we go. Queen Bee, open the bag up. We get the beekeeper, the hive packs, and beeswax. So we will be able to do some crafting with this that could potentially turn into some cool things. Now here we go. We can make an endless golden pouch, a flesh bar tub, a bamboo toilet, a cobalt chainsaw, demonite bars, which is interesting. That's a lot of beeswax just for demonite bars. And unfortunately, that is it. That is it. But we do now have our Explorer Potions, which is interesting. We'll try to, like, make our dandy little ass back to the dungeon to potentially take on Skeletron, whilst also looking for an Eye of Cthulhu spawn. But we have officially taken on at least one boss. All the other boss summons are brutal, and they can technically spawn naturally, I think. But let's activate one of our Explorer. Oh, this thing is great. This thing is great. It lights everything up. We got Danger Sense. We should have Spelunker. Demonite Ore technically is a crafting. We haven't really used it yet, so there's potential there for something we don't have. Now, we are dying to something, and I actually don't know what. Atlantis. What, did we drown? No, there's no chance the gills is killing us. Also, we can make Spectre Boots, which is actually really good. We'll take that. But with Spectre Boots, we technically have like some sort of flight, which is just a little bit handy. It's just a little bit nice. Now, these little pylons here suggests to me that above us, now of course we've got the lava charm, so we're actually doing pretty well, is a house with a keg in it. I think we've already had a keg. This is a mushroom house. There could be important stuff in here. I think we've got a keg. I'm going to leave it because I've got faith that we've already got it. But in here we have Hermes boots. Yeah, yay. Yay, that's so helpful. But on the bright side, I think we did actually hit the top of the dungeon here. So there is potential. No, as a matter of fact, we did not find the top of the dungeon at all. In fact, we've still got a fair way to go. Hang on, I think we found the entrance. Not only the entrance, we found the surface, which is very good. But I do believe that this is the entrance to the dungeon. And we died as soon as we walked in. There is a gothic workbench here. So either way, we were getting a workbench. That's really good to know. But we died. Now that is a chair. I think a chair, funnily enough, is one of the only things we actually needed. Also, a bewitching table is actually kind of crazy because that means we can summon an even stronger dragon staff. So we're going to take that. Now it is crazy that we have found another workbench. So there was ways for us to do it. Now obviously getting here would have been extremely difficult. But right now we're just going to wait to heal up a little bit. And then we're going to try to like just balls to the walls raw dog Skeletron. Alright, we're fully healed. We've got no buffs. But what we can do is just try to absolutely raw dog Skeletron as much as we possibly can. The second he starts turning his little head, we're pretty screwed. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, we're probably screwed already. We're probably screwed already. He hasn't even started doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this, doing this. Oh, we probably could have got him as well. Alright, so we've started building some type of arena to hopefully take on Skeletron. Completely different day, again, to the recording. Unfortunately, we still don't have platforms, so any type of like platform sort of arena isn't gonna work. And to be honest, this flare-on has been kind of tragic, so you know, we've sort of got to work with what we've got. But we do have a Xeno popper, which might just be slightly better. We can sort of target the damage a bit. Explosive bullets as well could be the way to go. I don't know, but there's only one way to find out. He just does like an absolute boatload of damage to us, and we really do not have any room. You know what, the flare-on might be, it might be leagues better, I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, again, no room to move, so that's getting pretty rough. Although we did build out like some dungeon bricks, so we can see if that turns into anything. But yeah, right now we are pretty not great. We've already done the upgrade kit. Brandon the Inferno, we've already looked at. So we can make Void dye. I know there's a lot of dyes that's going to be needed. We've already made the explosive pouch. I didn't see that before because it needs blue brick. And we have blue brick. We now have a flying dragon. Can we get a better flying dragon? And like, I'm sort of going for a good one here. Nah, minus speed, not great. Dangerous. Yeah, that's going to be the one. Okay, we now have a really good weapon. We can make honey platforms, a wine glass, which is funny, rockets, which can't really use. If we could make actual mana crystals, it would be disgusting. We've already got the some. If I missed this last time, 15. If I missed that last time, I'm seriously not doing my job right. I'm pretty sure the kaleidoscope is going to be better than the flying dragon. I'm not going to lie to you. Although 384 damage for the flying dragon is pretty disgusting. We like that a lot. So armor-wise, we're still, yeah, just a little bit underpowered, I think. Well, which is actually crazy to say. Helmet-wise, we're underpowered with our armor. Also, we need to make sure we actually are using our Stardust Dragon because we are very silly not to use it. Alright, we've got a little bit more of an arena. We're going to have to do this and run super quickly. If we can just take out the hands super quickly and then just take out the head just as quickly, we might actually be alright. We don't have any healing, which is kind of crazy to think about. Come on, kill him, kill him. Oh, we got him. Okay, we've taken out a boss. Thank God for that. None of this stuff is going to be helpful to us at all, but we have taken out a boss, which is good. Now we do have a guide voodoo doll, which we could technically take on the wall of flesh right now, and I think we'd beat him pretty fast. Now this might be somewhat hectic to do like this, but we're going to give it a crack. Does that summon him? Why does that not summon him? Am I missing something? I see. So the reason it's not working is because we need the guide. So NPC housing. Oh, the merchant has arrived. Okay, he's not the guide. because we're really needing the guide right now. But the merchant is a new NPC that we can buy stuff from, like a net for fishing, which is going to be important. But mind you, not actually, we are going to buy a piggy bank actually, because money is important. But we're going to need a fishing rod at some point, which we can't make, so we got to find one. God knows how we're going to do that. But we do have him here, which is nice. And we have just enough walls to make another NPC house. I think that's about it. I don't think we've got anything else that could help us with making more. Although, now we just need a chair in this one to make more NPC housing, which I know exactly where we can get a chair from. Now we should be able to find a chair somewhere in here, I'm assuming. Ah, yes, there's a chair right there, which is what we're going to go for. Are we going to die on the way? There's a good likely chance. We're going for the chair. Going for the chair and the table, actually. We want the chair, the table, I want the bed, all of it. All right, sweet. Let's return home and work with that. The nurse has arrived. Not quite who we were looking for. We really need the guide next, please. And the arms dealers arrived. Okay, so everyone but the guide wants to show up. That's fine. Oh, we feel an evil presence watching us. That is the Eye of Cthulhu. We've been waiting for this. Here he comes. Eye of Cthulhu. We finally have another boss. Actually, let's try the kaleidoscope. How's the kaleidoscope go? Oh, it goes good. It goes good, but it's not quite as good as this one. Okay. That's a boss done. Didn't have to find his summon, which is nice. And we will get something really important from him too. So the really important thing we get is obviously the Eye of Cthulhu. Not the Eye, the Shield of Cthulhu, which is basically a dash that we needed desperately. Alright, we've got 2 more housing. So, realistically, the guide should spawn. So we're going to wait it out and hopefully the guide spawns. The dryads arrived. Okay, that's taking up one of our precious houses. Built a couple more houses, so really, I mean, if the guy doesn't spawn now, I don't know what's going to make him spawn. So, we'll wait it out. The guy, there he is. Oh, good old Kevin the guide. Alright, let's get our Stardust Dragon out because we're about to go do some hectic shit. Bewitching table, just to double the boy up. We don't have any significant potions. In fact, we have a whole bunch of nothing, but we do have a flying dragon. So realistically speaking, this should be fine as long as we can like avoid any significant silly damage. Also, we have a flask of poison, which is just pretty dope as well. Now we are going to start getting very hungry very soon, but we have 4 chances at this. So really, how hard could this be to take on the wall of flesh? We should be able to put some serious damage on him. Now, avoiding lasers is one thing. We're not doing too bad of a job at it at the moment. I've just said that, and we've just been hit by lasers a bunch of times. God, those lasers do some damage. Okay, we're doing decent damage. Now it's just about damage control, damage control. Oh, that was close. We have actually killed the wall of flesh. We're starting to really get moving now. Charm of Luck is always super helpful now. I know the inventory in this is always going to be cracked. Bang, we get our Demon Heart, which is great. We can put our Feral Claws on there, a Clockwork, a Summoner Emblem. Not helpful. The Pone Hammer is extremely important though, because we actually do not have any access to a hammer. So that's going to be super important, super necessary. So now we could go after mechanical bosses. Now, mind you, armor-wise, are we prepared for mechanical bosses? Not a chance. Oh, we can actually make a bar statue from the Hellstone brick. That's going to be super important at some point. But right now, we're kind of cooked. So if we look at the bosses we've defeated, we've skipped the Brain of Cthulhu and the Eater of Worlds, which is unfortunate because their drops are actually really important. Queen Slime could be one we can get, but we need wooden crates, which we need a fishing rod. Now, I would love to take out King Slime, but we need some weird stuff for it. Again, wooden crates. Lizard bricks in a lizard furnace, though. I feel like we could do that. Have we found the temple? But what we can do is summon Skeletron Prime if we really wanted to, just to see how we would do with the Flying Dragon, which, to be honest, it should be like we honestly could be able to defeat him. It's just about not dying when we have no movement, we have no wings. Again, that's the only problem. So usually you can make instivators with like the 50 dynamites, I think a star and rope, which I think we do have. You make it about an anvil, so we'll see if this does make anything. For some reason I doubt it. We make a revolver with the mushroom walls. It's pretty cool. So we've got different kind of walls, I guess. It's like spider walls or something. I think we can get spider walls just in general. But usually spider walls will turn into something. It turns into a stardust candle. But they also turn into Betsy's wings. Okay. That's pretty good, actually. We now have wings, which we can hover with. What? Let's summon the old mate, and we can do some fancy little flying around to try to avoid him as best as we can now. Now, it's once those hands are down. Okay, one of the lasers is down. That's going to be pretty huge. Now, it's just about avoiding damage as best as we can. Ooh, that thing did some massive damage. We really need the nurse here, actually. The nurse would be super handy to have. Okay, that's one more down. We can borderline almost just go for the head now. God, it's literally one hit from Skeletron and we are cooked. All right, we're going for the win here. We're going for the win on the Skeletron. We've actually taken on Skeletron Prime. We've got the waffle, like the thing, whatever that is. But oh my god, we actually defeated a mechanical boss. I know we've got overpowered armor. I don't care what you say. I'm just happy we took him out. What do we get from it? We get the hallowed bars, the soul of fright, the mechanical battery piece. I don't care. But we get some souls. We get some bars. So it's interesting. Yeah, it is. It doesn't mean... Oh, those are jungle enemies, actually. I think there's good chance we found the jungle here. Now, this could be very important. Ugh, Anklet of the Wind is good, but not what we're looking for. We need chests because I do believe, if I'm not wrong, you can get the sitting duck or like the fiberglass fishing pole. But also we need like the temple and stuff anyway, so. And we've died to a pigron. So it was a pigron trap. Okay, that's not very helpful. A prismatic primrose summons the Empress of Light. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a boss we have to defeat. So we need to remember that uses silver. So we need to use silver for that. All right, we are back. This time we will not die to a pigron. At least we're going to try to not die to a pigron. And we died to a jungle mimic. Are you kidding me?